Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Normal is broke and common sense is weird. So we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network and the Fairwinds Credit Union studio, this is The Ramsey Show. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Jade Washaw, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in and we will talk about your life and your money. Heather is with us in Nashville. Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
My husband and I are in. Oh, sorry. We're in way over our heads, and so I'm just looking for some help. We are about $1.3 million in debt. That's with 2 businesses, a house loan, a car loan, credit cards, and back taxes.
Okay. Pretty scary. How old are you guys?
We're both 28.
How long you been married?
6 years.
Okay. All right, cool. So, how much do you owe on your home?
About $48,000.
Okay. And what's it worth?
It's from last we had evaluated. It's about $250.
Okay.
So
what do you owe on your cars?
17.
Okay. This is starting to scare me. And what do you owe in taxes?
30,000.
Good. Okay. I'm a little less scared than I was a minute ago, and that means we have a whole bunch of business debt.
Yes.
Yeah, like $1.2 million worth.
Yes, sir.
What in the world? On what?
Well, so we got into business. My husband was fired from his job, 4 years ago, and found odd jobs, but was never able to find, like, stable full-time work. So we ended up starting, like, a summer camp in 2022, but built that with credit card debt. And then it's going to sound really stupid, I know. To make that stable, we bought, it wasn't a business sale, it was an asset sale. We bought basically another business's assets for the 1.2.
Oh, so the one business, not the summer camp. The summer camp has how much credit card debt?
That's the one that's got about, it's still got about like $15,000 out of the credit card debt.
Okay, I didn't get credit cards earlier. I just got cars and house earlier. Okay, so the credit card debt totals how much?
It's about 19, so 4,000 of that is ours.
So you have one business that's the problem.
Yes.
Okay. And you were able to secure a loan as unemployed people with a summer camp for $1.2 million. Why? Who? Who is dumb enough to make this loan?
Well, I mean, the summer camp was doing extremely well.
No, but the loan was not on the camp, was it?
No, sir.
You don't own the land on the camp, do you?
No, sir.
Okay. So basically you're renting a piece of ground in the summer, running a camp on it, and you make what kind of income on that?
That makes about $200,000 a year.
Okay. All right. And the business that you purchased, what was the assets?
It's rentals. It's event rental, so it's like staging and lights and audiovisual and inflatables and all that kind of stuff.
All the fun stuff for the camp.
Yes.
Okay. And you borrowed 1.2. Who loaned you $1.2 million for that?
The SBA.
I bet they did. I bet they did.
Is the camp still operational?
Yes, ma'am. We still do that every year.
Is there a way that you can add things for the other seasons to earn quadruple the amount, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we've been trying to do. It's just I mean, y'all know, like, we've hit a point in the economy where people are trying to figure out other solutions for fun stuff or childcare, so they're trying not to spend as much. So we kind of are stuck with the businesses that everybody's trying to avoid.
Mm-hmm. Not really true, but in the situation as you are in, being so overwhelmed, I can see how you could start to think that. Okay. Because when nothing goes right, nothing goes right. When life looks like a country song, it just looks like a country song. Lots of people still renting kids stuff all over the place.
Absolutely.
The economy's quite booming in some areas, but so no, you're just the economics at your house suck, and so I'm so sorry, honey. It's so scary, so scary. Okay, is there any possibility of selling the last business that you bought for anywhere near what you owe on it?
No, sir. No.
How do you know?
Because the more it was like the layers of an onion, the more we peeled back, the more we found the deception.
That you had overpaid.
Yes.
Okay.
By how much?
By like $400,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How much does this cost you every month to pay the minimums on this?
For the business, we're operating at a cost of $50,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. And you're not making that.
I mean, some months we are. Some months we are.
Yeah.
But it's both of our businesses are very seasonal.
Okay. I don't know. Here's the first thing. I was your age, been married to your distance of time, when we went broke and lost everything and ended up bankrupt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to tell you is the worst case scenario is you lose the business, you lose the camp, and you start your lives fresh after a bankruptcy, and you hold on to each other, and you hold on to Jesus, and you hold on to your marriage.
Yeah.
And so what? Okay. Lots of people have gone broke. That's the worst case scenario. So I want you two to sit down tonight and accept that emotionally and look at each other and hold hands and say, we got this together no matter what this is. Because I don't right now see how you're getting out of this. But here's an idea, okay?
Okay.
I would sell it for whatever you can get for it. If you can get $800,000 for it, take it.
Okay.
And go to the SBA and do a short sale. Hire an attorney and tell the SBA, you get nothing, honey, if you don't take this $800,000. Because I'm walking and you're going to own a blow-up inflatable.
Okay.
And the SBA is not in the inflatable business. And so you go to the bank and you say, we're going to do a short sale on this business because we got screwed. You participated in it because you idiots loaned us the money. And they are idiots. Anybody that made this loan should be just lined up and shot. Oh, my God. This is ridiculous. So, because they've screwed you in the process. So, yeah, I'm going to short sell the business. If you can't short sell it, sign a note for the difference and scratch your way through that $400K, making $200 and something, and you can bust through these other little debts and pay the stinking IRS. They're not bankruptable. Before you pay anybody else, you pay the KGB. I mean the IRS. Okay, they're first on the list. So, hang on. We're going to set you up with one of our coaches and see if we can get you some better advice than you got here. Because I'm a little short on time, and I had to rush that. I'm so sorry. You already know the power of generosity, and the best gifts make an impact now and eternally. That's what Preborn does, and you can trust them to do it well. They don't just offer free ultrasounds. They support pregnancy clinics across the country with ultrasound machines, training, grants, and evangelism tools. They're faithful with each dollar so moms in crisis can see the life in their wombs and hear the truth that brings eternal life. Because here's the thing. When a mom sees her baby on that ultrasound screen, she chooses life 80% of the time. And your gift of just $28 covers the cost of one ultrasound. Or if you're able, you can purchase an ultrasound machine through Preborn and have it placed in one of their clinics so women will choose life for years. Your donation brings hope and truth when mothers feel alone and fear is loud. So I'm asking you to give to Preborn today, even just $28 to provide one ultrasound. Go to preborn.com/Ramsey or call 855-601-2229 because every baby saved is more than a life preserved. It's a life changed. That's preborn.com/Ramsey. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. You don't think that's true? You talk to our last caller. When I turned on the phone, put her on the air, she started crying. $1.2 million in debt on blow-up jump houses. Good God. Wow. And then some of you want to call me up and tell me how debt is how you go into business. Because you have an idea that's no one's ever done before, like fried pickles. Well, there's a reason. There's a reason no one's done it before. So, yeah. The more debt you're in, the more risk you take, and the more you understand the slavery aspect. And she's sitting there with some basic income coming in and nowhere near enough to even service the debt, much less everything else. And she can see the writing on the wall. It's going to, I don't know if that kid makes it or not. Well, they'll make it, but I don't know if they make it without bankrupting. I hope they can. If they sell it, and they can claw. If they sold it, they claw their way through the $400,000, making $200,000. They can do that, and they clean up the other $100,000. That's $500,000 in debt, making $200,000 plus. You can do that. That's very doable. But
my thing is the fact that somebody lent them the money, and that when you're that young, you think that if somebody will give you the money, that means you're good for it.
Well, that's like, yeah,
Yeah,
but when you're first starting at a lot of things, you do dumb things. It's like people think if you have checks left, there's money in the checking account.
That's right. That's right.
So then of course no one even knows what a check is anymore. So that joke doesn't land anymore.
I was with you, Dave.
You've got a responsibility to not get yourself in these kinds of things. And here's the thing: he lost his job. They run the summer camp. Everything's going good, and then there was some kind of a desperation or a greed thing that kicked in that blinds you to doing a deal that's that dumb. Because that deal, by any measure, is dumb. Yeah. I didn't say the people are dumb. I've done dumber. I was $4 million in debt, $3 million in debt. So they only did $1 million. So I've got a PhD in UMB. So I've done dumb things. That does not make me dumb. I did them for dumb reasons. They did this for a dumb reason. And oh my goodness, folks. So my point is the teachable moment when you listen to the show, you can just get entertained and go, that's ridiculous and that's crazy and how sad for those people or how weird is that whole thing. And you can kind of get that, Jerry Springer effect off the show if you want. Or you could actually try to learn something.
Right.
What's the lesson in that? Well, the lesson is after losing that job, that guy's heart was broken, and he said, I'm never going to be there again. And he read some story about some guy becoming a millionaire after borrowing money on TikTok. And he went and borrowed money out to his ears, and now he can't breathe, and his poor little wife is so scared she can't breathe. And that's exactly how Sharon Ramsey sounded at 28 years old.
Oh, yeah. But there's the other lesson for him and for her, too, because she was part of it, is exactly what you said. When you do something like that, Dave, the shame of it, because you think I'm dumb, you think I'm stupid, it's my fault we're in this, but they've got to remember going through this that the business plan was bad, the loan was dumb, the business idea was stupid. They cannot wear that as an identity.
But the thing you need to, the takeaway for all of you listening is this. When you're in the middle of doing something like this, you've done it, I've done it, and every one of you have done it. You have a moment of sanity while you're in the middle of this going, this doesn't feel right.
You get that red flag.
And you go past that moment and do it anyway. And 100% of the time, you knew better. Every one of us. There's a proverb that says the simple see trouble and move forward. And the wise avoid it and take refuge, and the simple are punished for it.
Wow.
And that's exactly what that is. Because when you're doing something like this, when I did something like this, I was simple.
Yeah.
It was not wisdom. It was a fool.
But you had that moment. You had that moment.
Yeah, I was like, I know that. I know this is out of control, but I can handle it. There's an arrogance, a greed, a desperation that causes you to plow through it, and that's a simpleton. It's a simpleton. It's not a wise person. Not biblically wise. It's a biblical fool. And you don't want to be a Bible fool. That's a real dumb person. That's really dumb. And so, but I've done it. Every one of those things in Proverbs that says you're a fool if you did this, I did every one of them, And so that way I don't have to do them ever again, and now I can be the wise person instead on those books. So, yeah, but it's people, when you're getting ready to sign for that brand new car that you cannot afford. You got a $400 a month raise, and you're taking out a $1,200 car payment to celebrate.
And if you have to start rationalizing it, that's how you know. And
when you're doing it. You're sitting in the office that this doesn't feel right. Your heart rate is your spouse is looking at you like you've lost your dadgum mind, because you have, and you try to tell them how smart you are and that we're going ahead anyway. You just don't understand because the way you were brought up, you sound like your mother, and you go straight past it and straight into the dadgum fire. And man, that poor girl, that's exactly what they did. And it's what you've done out there if you're listening to this. So don't be too quick to make fun of her, and don't be too quick to make fun of me. I've done it too. But listen, the lesson is when that bell starts ringing in your spirit, that's God's Spirit saying, don't do it, fool. Turn on your heel and walk out of the room. Run away. Run away. Jay is with us, rather. Jay is in Portland, Oregon. Hey, Jay, what's up?
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I am currently getting out of the Army and looking to move back to Oregon.
Cool. Thanks for your service. You're in the Army, you said, or the military?
Yes, sir.
Army. What was your rank? What'd you do?
Staff Sergeant. Human Resources.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm currently looking to go back to Oregon, and I have basically like the job of my dreams. The only problem is that it is located about 70 miles away from where I'm going to be living for the first year that I'm back.
Why?
And so I need reliable transportation.
Why are you living 70 miles away from work?
What's that?
Why are you living 70 miles away from work?
Just for the way that my child custody agreement is set up.
Huh. Okay.
That's the closest you can get.
For the next year, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I've gotten it worked out, and I will be able to move closer to the job within approximately 15 minutes after that. So it's just for the first short little bit while I'm back.
Okay.
But anyways, I am looking to get a new vehicle, and I have been looking at a Toyota Corolla. I have talked them down from their asking price down to I think it was $23,000. As of now, I do not have a vehicle. I sold my vehicle that I had out here, and with the amount that I'd be putting down, I'd be able to afford it.
How much money do you have?
Within the next year. Sorry?
How much money do you have?
About $7,000, and between that amount, I will have my baby step 2 completed, other than the car loan.
Then why would... So you're going backwards.
I mean, you have $7,000 in cash.
Yes.
That's all you have today. What does baby step 2 completed come in? You're already at baby step 2
I'll have all my debt. I'll have all of my debt.
Have all? It's not all paid yet?
No.
Well, how much debt do you have now?
I have the remainder of the money from my divorce to pay off, and it's about $3,000.
Okay, so you have $10,000 today.
I have $3,000 left of debt.
You have $7,000 saved and $3,000 of debt, so you have $4,000 to your name, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I would not go into debt to do this. You're going backwards.
Buy a $4,000 car.
And then save up some more, and if you want to trade it in to get a little bit more dependable, if it becomes a problem, you can do that. But don't go back into debt when you're spending all this effort getting out of debt. You can't solve a problem while simultaneously creating it.
Yeah. Can't get out of a hole while digging out the bottom. So, yeah, you're going to go buy it, though. I kind of think we can talk you out of it in 30 seconds, but No, there's no chance. I'll ride a bicycle before I get a freaking car payment again.
Take the bus.
Owning a business can be a heavy load. You want to serve your customers well, make a healthy profit, and grow. And your team, family, and customers are all counting on you. And now everybody's talking about AI like it's magic. And you're wondering how to keep up. You're carrying a lot, but you don't have to do it all alone. That's where NetSuite comes in. Over 43,000 businesses, including Ramsey Solutions, use NetSuite to lighten the load by bringing all their numbers into one system. Accounting, inventory, CRM, payroll, the works. And now NetSuite's AI takes it further, automating busy work, flagging inventory issues, spotting cash flow problems in real time, and catching risks before they hit. So you're not just closing the books faster, you're making decisions confidently. And when your numbers are right, that takes a lot of pressure off your shoulders. And yeah, switching systems is a big move, but NetSuite's Suite Success process gets you up and running fast. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey for a free product tour and to schedule time with a NetSuite rep. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Our question of the day is brought to you by Why Refi. Defaulted private student loans don't define you, and they don't have to control your future. Why Refi helps you start fresh with low fixed-rate refinancing made for real people. Go to whyrefi.com/Ramsey. That's the letter Y, REFY.com/Ramsey, not in all states.
Alrighty, today's question comes from Jesse in Texas. They say, I'm 27, make about $100,000 a year. I have $18,000 in student loans, no other debt, and have $25,000 in savings. My old car died and I need to replace it. I'm nervous about draining most of my savings to pay cash for a car because I've seen my parents make big purchases that sent them into decades of struggle. So I'm wondering if I should get a car loan that's in my budget and pay down excessively over the years. I want to make the choice right. I want to make the right choice. What should I do? Okay, first off, you've got a great income. Yeah, you've got the $18,000 in student loans, no other debt, $25,000 in savings. You have the money to do this in cash, so I would do it. What I'm really focused on is the part where they're afraid of draining the savings and the part where they're comparing this purchase to something their parents did, I don't know, decades ago that caused ruin in their life.
Now, if you paid cash for a car, it did not cause them to struggle for decades.
No, going into debt likely
It would have been the car payment that caused them to struggle for decades.
Yeah.
The cycle of always borrowing every time I want something, and I like my savings more than I like,
That's one of those things you kind of have to play out and ask yourself, like, what's really going on here? Because when I see stuff like this, Dave, this is just fear operating unchecked in the background. And you don't even know what it's based off of. It's very vague. It's very, I'm afraid I'm going to ruin everything. I'm afraid I'm going to ruin my life. My parents ruined their life, but there's no real clear detail. And when that's the case, it's very hard to track it down and find out, okay, like what's actually going on? So if I were them, I would look at this and say, okay, what is it? If you're really afraid that your life is going to turn into your parents' life, right? Like, play it out. What actually did they do? Because what you're probably going to find is what Dave said. They went into debt, and this caused a domino effect of events. And that doesn't have to be the case with you. And then I look at this part where he says, I'm nervous about draining most of my savings to pay cash. I mean, we see that all the time, Dave.
Why would you? Okay, start with, you're driving a piece of crap now. So why do you need a $20,000 car to replace a piece of crap? You don't. So, by the way, when someone says my old car died, I'm an old redneck. I fixed the car.
Right. You could fix it, or you could spend a little bit more and replace it. You don't have to spend the whole $25,000.
Take your old car, sell it for $2,000, put $4,000 with it, and buy a $6,000 car, and then go pay off your student loans. And you're debt free with a $6,000 car. Now, save like crazy, get your emergency fund in place, properly done. Now, start saving like crazy and move up in car.
Okay. Yeah.
But drive a $6,000 car for a year, making $100,000 with no payments in the world.
I love that. I love that. But okay, you gave the number side. I'm going to give the emotional side of that.
Because that's really, in your book, what no one tells you about money is that you have to not only crunch the numbers, but you have to deal with this person in your mirror who's misbehaving.
Because the person in his mirror is going, oh, but I'm so scared. So he's got to go, all right, I'm afraid. I will own that. Now, what I talk about in the book is understanding rational versus irrational fears.
Exactly.
Because the irrational ones are the very vague, oh, I'm going to ruin everything. Oh, I'm just going to be stuck on the side of the road. Oh, I'm going to repeat my parents. No. What are you specifically afraid of? Because if you can't be specific, you can't solve it. Now, this guy could say, well, here's what I'm afraid of, Jade. I'm afraid if I drain my savings down to $10,000 and get a $10,000 car, I'm afraid my AC is going to break and it's going to cost $12,000, right? Tell me exactly what you're afraid of. Then we can go back and we can go, well, let's play out the worst possible scenario. Worst possible scenario is this. How would we fix it? And we can give answers, Dave, to all of that. But as long as you let it float around and just be in la la land, you're never going to do it. Yeah. So do yourself the service of taking a moment and go, why is it that when Dave and Jade told me to buy this car cash, I froze up? Right? What is it specifically that I'm afraid of? What did my parents do specifically? And then it's like our friend Dr. John Deloney says, the facts are your friends.
Exactly.
Is there anything true about this? You have to test it.
Irrational fear is don't touch a hot stove. An irrational fear is I'm not buying a stove because someone might touch it.
Because somebody I once knew that I read about in a book got burned on the stove.
Yeah, my mother, when she was 14, got burned on a stove. We will never have a stove in our house. Well, that's cray-cray. I mean, that's the same kind of stuff. That's where our brains little drama queen that lives in our heads. That little drama queen does this little dance, and then all of a sudden you're in Stupidville.
That's right. And I mean, I'll validate the fact that it's real. We all have it, and to some degree, but it can only be an excuse for so long. A good reason, if you let it go around long enough, becomes a bad excuse. And so you've got to look at the reason and say, why am I doing that? What's the reason I'm doing that? I don't want it to be an excuse for me moving forward. And you've got to work through that. And that's what we talk about in the book.
And I'll tell you, when I hit bottom, I said these words, never again.
Never again.
Okay, so you're sitting here right now, Jesse. You make $100,000 a year. You have a piece of crap car and $18,000 in student loans and $25,000 in the bank. And I don't like this feeling. So do something about it, son. Say, never again. I'm going to clean up these freaking stupid student loans. I'm not going into car debt. And I'm going to pile up some cash. And by the end of the year, I'm going to have $30,000 and no freaking payments. Because never again do I want to feel this feeling again. And, what no one tells you about money is you got to get a little pissed off at some point and go, I'm not living like this. I've had it. And that's what you and Sam did. And that's what you talk about in this book.
I do. I talk about just being able to understand, hey, there's more to it. Some people, I'll be honest, I'm generally the type of person who can just up and change. I get to that sick and tired point. But then there's those moments, the wrong thing hits you in the wrong way. And it's like you feel paralyzed. And you're like, why do I feel so paralyzed by this? Why am I getting so upset about this? Why do I feel like I'm going backwards? Why did I push pause when I was going so quickly at one point? And those are the times you got to stop and pause and go, what's going on here? And to his point, he's thinking about something that it wasn't even in his life. It's something his parents did that's causing him to stop.
Dude, you're 27. You make $100,000 a year. Here's an idea. Stop being broke. Get off your butt and fix this. And that, when you kind of get that own thing going inside of you, that voice saying that stuff to yourself, that's when you're going to just flip this whole thing around. But right now, you're dancing around all the sides of it, going, I'm going to touch them, little of this, little of that, knock it in the nose, dude. Reach up and smack the bully in the nose. You are either going to tell your money what to do, or you're going to be miserable the rest of your life. Because money's going to tell you what to do, and other people are going to tell you what to do. and you're going to watch Instagram and figure out that other people have a better life than you because they lied on Instagram, you know? And so nobody has a life that looks like their Instagram life. If you didn't know, I'll just clue you in. There's no such thing. So I was with Willie Robertson this week. And he was telling me, he said, we were talking about a television show, and he goes, no, that's like a show that really happened. I do reality TV. It never really happened. It's not real. It's not real. It doesn't happen that way in real life. Yeah. So, oh, my gosh. Okay, Jesse. So what the prescription is.
We're going to take some of this money.
No one tells you about your money is that there's an emotional side to personal finance, a psychological side, a spiritual side to personal finance that's very much about you looking you in the mirror and dealing with the stuff you said to deal with.
It's 3 parts. You want to change your money, you have to consider 3 parts: the numbers in the math, your behavior, and your emotions. I say it like this in the book. I say, if behavior is the car, behavior is the vehicle, is where you want to go. You get in it, your behavior is the vehicle, your belief is sitting in the driver's seat. That's the thing. Do I believe I can do it? If I believe it, I mash on the gas. If I don't believe it, I go in reverse. And your emotions are the thing that say, I'm going to keep steering it down the right track. If you get spooked, you hit a tree. If you feel good and you are managing those emotions, you go straight forward to the goal. Yep. That's how it works.
What No One Tells You About Your Money, the next bestseller from Jade Washaw. It's in pre-sale right now. And you get all kinds of goodies when you buy it at RamseySolutions.com. Don't let big grocery bills spoil your holiday plans. Shop at Aldi first. They've got USDA choice meats like beef, pork, and even your turkey, along with fresh produce, holiday desserts, and more. And you'll find all of them at the lowest prices of any national grocery store. A family of 4 can save up to $4,000 a year by shopping at Aldi. You don't need a membership or some loyalty app either. So stop overpaying this holiday season. Go to aldi.us to find a store near you. That's aldi.us.
Savings based on regional analysis of Aldi versus select competitors. Prices may vary by location, product availability, and the market.
Bo is in New York City. Hi, Bo. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, sir. Thank you.
Sure. What's up?
I don't even know where to start. I guess my overall question would be how to handle the overwhelming stress of the holidays while we're climbing out of debt and still trying to be what we need to be for the children.
What's the overwhelming stress? Buying gifts?
Yeah.
How old are the children?
When there's literally nothing.
Well, we'll get to why is there nothing, but how many children?
4.
4. And what are their ages?
15, 11, 10, and 7.
Okay. Tell me why there's nothing.
Just not enough. There's not nothing, but there's not enough at the end. There's not anything extra. There's
paycheck to paycheck.
Hour to hour.
Okay, what are you earning?
At this point, 4 jobs right now.
You have
around
4 jobs?
120 a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
You yourself have 4 jobs?
Well, 1 full-time job and then 3 like gigs, Amazon, catering, flex.
And that equals 120 a year?
About, yeah.
What's your main job?
Managing a small grocery store.
Okay.
That was mine that I sold to them last year.
Mm-hmm. Did they give you money for it, or you just got out?
They gave me a good chunk of help toward the debt.
How
There's
much?
Still some left over. On paper,
yeah,
200,000, but I owed about 240.
So there's 40,000 left of business debt?
Pretty much, yeah. There's
any other
wonderful
debt?
SBA loan. There's personal debt. There's school loan debt. It's a mess.
What do you make at the grocery store, honey?
What's that?
What do you make at the grocery store?
That's 100.
Okay. Tell me. So there's the 40,000 SBA loan. Tell me the student loans.
Well, different ones, but between my wife and I, close to 30.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about the personal loans.
Not loans, credit cards that we took out in our own names.
Okay.
To help the business in the last year, you know.
How much is that?
If I had to guess, it'd be 30 to 40. I'm so sorry.
That's
okay.
I
called on a whim. I'm listening to the podcast.
No, I got you. I got you.
But 30 to 40. I mean, we haven't.
How much do you owe on your cars?
Taken any more? I will say that.
How much do you owe on your cars?
I know you're gonna hate that, but we have one car that we owe about $13,000 on. It's a 2018 4Runner. And then I take your advice, and I went and I bought a hoopty, and it blew up. So I had to buy another hoopty, and it broke down. So now I'm on my third hoopty, which is a 200,000 miles, 2009 Silverado.
That you paid cash for.
Yeah, and it spends more time at the mechanic than it does in the driveway. So I think I spend less on the 4Runner over the past 2 years.
Well, I chalk that up to you might not know how to select a great older car.
Yeah.
That's what I chalk that up to.
I bought one of those Astro vans that your wife drove.
So $123,000 of debt.
How old are you?
I'm 43, just turned 43.
All right. So here's the thing, okay? You live in one of the most expensive cities in the world to live in, okay? And you can't afford to live there, can you? I think you need a change of scenery.
I know. Well, there's a problem that legally can't yet.
Is this custody? What is this?
That was vague. What do you mean?
Yeah. My oldest son is not my own son. And he's, we're tied here to the father.
So, okay, then let's still talk living situation because...
we live in a beautiful area that we don't deserve to live in. We pay less in rent than you would think you'd pay for a basement apartment.
What do you pay?
We have $2,000 a month.
Okay. Does your wife work outside the home? Does your wife work outside the home?
No, she homeschools our 4 kids.
We might need to change that.
I know. It's kind of hard to bring that up. When
but let's play it out. She does. But let's stop for a minute.
Hey, Bo, listen.
Yeah.
Something's got to change, dude. You're going to have to decide what it is.
Not even any more hours in the day.
No, you can't work anymore. You got no emotion left in your gas tank. I'm talking to a guy who can't even form a sentence because you're completely exhausted. Something's got to change. You're going to have to change something. You're carrying all of this. You're the plate spinningest dude I've talked to, and I don't know when. And these plates are crashing all around you, and you're scared to death. And every time we bring up, you got to try something, you go, can't do that. Something's got to change. You got to change something. You're going to have to rise up and bust something and change something. I don't know what it is, man, but I love you, and I want you to win, and I'm talking to a guy who's scared.
The wrong work?
I think you got to move. I think you got to do something different. Your wife's going to work. Somebody's going to work. Something's going to change. Your job changes. You get away from that grocery store that failed because every time you walk in there, you feel like a failure. I don't know what's going on, but your emotions, man, are all in your words, and it's you're. If you need to play this back and listen to it on the podcast because you're defeated. Is everything that comes up, I'm already defeated. I've already lost. And you have not lost. You're a hardworking guy. You're managed to keep a family together in freaking New York City. My God. I mean, you're amazing. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Just because your stupid grocery store didn't work doesn't mean your life is over. Your life's not over. There is a lot of stuff my friend Bo can do that makes more money and better decisions. You are not stuck, but you are going to have to change something. There's an old thing when the lumberjacks in the mountains of the Appalachians used to put the trees in the river to run them down the river to deliver them to the sawmill. They would get stuck in the bend. When they go around the corner, there'd be a log jam. That's where that saying comes from. You know how they fixed it? They'd light dynamite and throw it in the middle of it. That's how you bust up a log jam. You bust up some stuff. Now, I don't know exactly what it is in your life, but I'm going to start selling everything in sight. Anything is on the line. And I'm going to look at the kids and go, kids, we're freaking broke. We're freaking broke. We got no money. So we're going to have to figure out a very creative Christmas this year. And I'm going to get on the phone with the old ex-husband, wife, whatever the flip is going on, and going, hey, we cannot stay here anymore because of Junior. Okay, so something's going to have to change. And something's going to change because you cannot – the guy I'm talking to is not in a sustainable situation. 1 year from today, you cannot be saying the same exact sentences you're saying to me right now. You cannot exist that way. It won't work. Something's going to blow. You're going to blow a gasket. Something's going to blow up in your marriage. We're going to find you in addiction. Something's going to blow up because you're just stuck, and just start yelling at the stuck and say, no, I'm throwing dynamite on your butt. Now, I don't know exactly what the individual tactical thing to tell you to do is right now, except to encourage you and say, I think you're a whole lot better than you think you are right now.
I'll give you some homework. If I were you, let's send you find the work you're wired to do, because I think you need to get on a different career path. I think
get out of the grocery store for sure.
What you did before that's just hanging over your head, and the longer that you work in that, it's just driving you into depression. You need a new job, and you need to not have 4 jobs because you've been doing that for too long. I'm going to look at this homeschool situation because your wife needs to be able to work. You need her help earning income in this season. I'm not saying it's going to last forever, but those are the 2 things that need to shake loose immediately.
Something's got to move. You decide what it is before it decides for you. That's the situation. Bust up into it, Bo. You're better than you feel like you are. Hang on, we're going to send you finding the work you're wired to do because you need some new work.
Hey guys, George here. You know I hate debt, and that includes sleep debt. I've been there. Fatigue, low energy, brain fog, and that's why I switched to Casper. My Casper mattress helps me sleep easier, cooler, and deeper, and now every bedroom in my house has one. On top of that, Casper ships free, comes with a 100-night trial, and if you don't love it, they'll come pick it up. So let's ditch the sleep debt and build sleep wealth. Go to Casper.com/Ramsey and use promo code Ramsey for 30% off all mattresses and up to 35% off everything else. That's Casper.com/Ramsey, promo code Ramsey. Exclusions apply.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm Dave Ramsey. Jade Washaw, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host. Carl's in Chicago. Hi, Carl. How are you?
I am better than I deserve, I hope. How are you too?
Just the same, sir. How can I help?
How can I go about helping someone that I truly care about without financially ruining myself in the process?
Who's the person, and what do you need to do to help them?
So this is a girlfriend. We're dating for about 2 years. We actually I ended things a couple weeks ago just because of the patterns with her money and her finances just kept leaving me in a bind. And now she's like really in a bad spot to where she's like facing eviction and she's got a young son, and I don't know what to do because I don't want to enable her at the same time, because I've tried many things until we got to this point, but I also don't want to see her homeless either.
Are you thinking about this young son more, or are you thinking about, is it more about the son or is it more about her?
I think a lot. I mean, it's got to be the son. We obviously had like a really close bond, like while we were together, and it's just I don't want to see a kid on the streets or like.
Well, what stops her from
having a hard
working?
life.
Like, is there something that keeps her from being able to have a job?
Sort of. She was working when we were together. Early 2025, she did get sick, where I took over the family finances and everything. And she still has this sickness, but she ended up going back to work after we had broken up. And she's had 2 jobs since we've been together, and I did make her several budgets. I'm like, hey, this is how much you make. This is how much you work. Like, this will work if you just don't overspend.
How
but
old
it's just
is she?
always been 27.
And what type of I mean, I'm not trying to pry, but what kind of sickness was it?
Yeah. Stomach ulcers.
Okay. Okay. And she's smart. Yes.
Very, yeah.
So what do you perceive? Like, just be flat out honest. If I say to you, hey, level with me, why isn't she working? Is it because she's lazy? Is it because she has a toxic trait? Like, tell me, why isn't she working?
Yeah. I think more so it's like she has toxic traits that obviously like led to our breakup too. But, you know, obviously when I met her, you know, our first 8 months were great until we got into the money issues and like me having to spot her. But it was just...
Okay, so you were living together. Were you living in that apartment?
Yes, for a little bit. I mean, we never like officially lived together, but I was over there fairly often.
Okay, and so you were paying the rent for a while.
I was helping her when she wasn't working. Correct.
Yeah, and how much is the rent?
$10.50.
Okay, and how much does it take to get it current?
It's like $4,000.
Okay, and you've been gone for. I thought you said you broke up 2 weeks ago.
We did. I mean, we got.
How's she 4 months behind if you were helping with the rent?
I was helping with the rent until June when we broke up.
And I thought you said you broke up 2 weeks ago.
We started talking again, but never official. But yeah.
Did she ask you for help? Or are you just looking at this saying, I need help? She needs help.
She hasn't helped. She hasn't asked yet, but she has before. When she gets in these situations, like just trackable money since we've met.
Does she have any money at all?
None. No.
Okay. So does she have a job now?
Yes.
Okay. So if she was current, could she stay?
Yes.
And she couldn't make it going forward. How much money do you have?
Maybe. I've got about $7,000 in my name.
Okay. You can't help her. You don't have enough money.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Does she have family?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know the dynamic too well. Obviously, when we were together, she had a lot of family issues too. So I don't know if they would help willingly.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
You don't have the money to help her.
And if I were in your shoes, here's the facts. She hasn't asked you for help yet. That's thing number one. You're kind of thinking about this, and it hasn't even happened yet. I'm not even sure why you know all of this if you've been broken up. Number two, if let's just play this out, because let's pretend they did end up on the streets. I don't think they will. I think she's going to figure something out, because the truth is she was probably existing just fine before you came into or she was surviving. I don't know if she was doing just fine, but she was surviving before you came into the picture. If for some reason you got wind of the fact that this little boy was on the street, where are you living?
Yeah. I live on my own right now.
So is there a way that you could say he can stay with me for a couple of weeks until you get on your feet?
I could do that, yeah.
So there's some options here that involve you helping if it got to the worst case scenario, but I don't like the idea of you trying to be Superman and keep any of this from happening to begin with.
Yeah, if you had $700,000 and you wanted to write a $4,000 check to walk away from this clean, dust your hands off, shake the dust off your feet, and walk away, that'd be okay. But you ain't got $700,000. You got $7,000. You don't have any money. Yeah. You're broke.
And you've got debt too, don't you?
No, luckily.
Oh,
No.
Good. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you're not in a position financially to give up half of your net worth.
$4,000, $5,000
to do this. It's just not. It's not tenable, and it's not your job either. I mean, because within 2 miles of you, there's 8 of these people. You just happen to know this one.
True. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just not. You're not Jesus. That's his job. You can't do his job for him, and so you can only do what you can do. And and so I'm with Jade. If you find out that the little boy needs some help, you can help him. if it was, if it was a small percentage of your world, I would give her some money and then just no more ever again. And because she's going to mess it up, she's going to mess it up again.
And he said he's already done that. And here's my thing, because I don't want anybody to think, oh my gosh, Jade, you're screwed. You're so mean. There's nothing wrong with her. If she was on drugs, if she was having some sort of, she's got stomach ulcers, but it seems like she can work. She already has another job. I think that in this case, it would be enabling. I think that it would be for her, somebody who's just kind of softening the fall. Oh, okay, I don't have to work as much. Okay, he's going to be here. I think that she can do this. He said she's smart. She's capable. If she has personality issues, go see a therapist.
Amen.
That's all I'm saying.
Amen. So it's interesting that a lot of the things that keep us from working, the income from working solves.
Work.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. Money. Work creates money, and then you don't have anywhere near the stress, and so the stomach ulcers, which are a stress-induced by and large thing.
That's a good point.
The reason you got stomach ulcers is you've been broke all your life because you don't maintain a job all your life, and so these are created situations, and so yeah, your anxiety, so to speak, that everybody throws that word around these days, goes down. Your stress goes down. Your health improves when you create some margin in your life, and there's only one way to do that, and that's work. A lot. And you won't die from hard work. Right before you die, you pass out. You won't die. So just working all the time. Just like a crazy person. And it creates this big old pile of money, and money's not everything. But paid rent is, paid rent is, and paid electricity is, and food on the table is, and Christmas presents are, and all those things happen. All that stuff's what money buys. Money's not important, but what it buys, the stuff it buys is really important.
All right, you know that sinking feeling when your phone bill shows up and it's higher than you remember? Yeah, that's not inflation. That's your carrier milking you for every dime. And Boost Mobile says enough's enough. They give you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month. No contracts, no mystery fees, no carrier drama. Just a bill that makes sense and saves dollars. And Boost is so sure that you'll love it, they've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can try it risk-free, keep your number, and keep more of your money. My family loves Boost, and I know you will too. So go to boostmobile.com/Ramsey to make the switch today. That's boostmobile.com/Ramsey. Restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com/Ramsey for details.
Alex is in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Hi, Alex. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Dave?
Good. How can we help?
Yeah, I've gotten myself into a pretty big hole with payday loans.
Ooh.
Totaling about $3,500. The APRs on them are all 500% or so.
Yep.
Yeah, I took them out because I got laid off in August, and I didn't have a good enough credit score to get a loan to get me help with rent and everything. And I'm starting a new job in about 3 weeks. And in the meantime, I've been working Lyft and making about $800 or so a week. And basically all of my money just goes to those payday loans and basic living expenses. And I just really want to get out of this cycle.
What's the new job pay?
It'll be 63 plus some bonuses, so probably about 70.
That's good.
What else can you do for the next 3 weeks other than Lyft?
That's the thing. I don't know. I'm already doing 10-hour days, 5-6 days a week.
So you're making $1 an hour. What else can you do?
Do you have a lawn?
I don't know.
Do you have a lawnmower? Can you go cut grasses and trim hedges and rake leaves and detail cars? Can you do something like that where you can set a higher rate?
Yeah, so I've been looking on Craigslist and Facebook for just general odd jobs, and the only thing that I've been able to get was I helped this guy move all of his furniture and stuff for like $200.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not really the best area to get something that I would be qualified for.
What about? I'm spitballing with you. What about? It's holidays. What about like hanging up lights? People need help hanging up lights. What about something like that?
And
I'm just trying to think.
FedEx, you can throw boxes.
Uh-huh.
FedEx and UPS are hiring right now. And they're paying more than you're making with Lyft, because you're making $800 coming in, but you got gas and wear and tear on the car coming out of that.
Yeah.
If you're driving that car 10 hours a day, you're not making any money.
Yeah, I thought about going and just getting a simple, being a server or bartender or working at UPS or FedEx. I just don't want to go through that whole process and then just leave in 2 weeks.
No, keep it. New job. Keep it. Your new job doesn't work on the weekends.
Yeah.
Work Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
You're going to need to.
And clean this mess up. In the meantime, the first thing you do is you buy food. The second thing you buy is you buy electricity. The third thing you buy is rent. The fourth thing you do is pay a car payment. Only after all of your living expenses are covered do you pay anything on a payday loan. And don't you ever walk in those places again and borrow money the rest of your freaking life. Remember the pain of this, and remember the stupidity of this, and the ridiculous trap that you voluntarily stepped into, so you never do it again, okay?
Yeah. I don't ever want to pay 500%.
Teach your children. Teach your grandchildren. Teach everyone's children to stay away from those scumburgers. They are screwing people.
Yeah. The other thing was I was thinking about just revoking my bank authorization to them, so they can't charge me anymore until I can get out of it.
Yes,
that's fine. That's fine. But you can stop it. That's fine. Just stop it, or change your bank account, or close your bank account. I don't care. But the point is, you're going to have to pay them the $3,500, and you're going to have to pay them a bunch of stupid interest at some point. Mm-hmm. And the more money you make, the faster that's going to happen. And then never, under any circumstances, go in there again. Okay?
Yeah, I know. I knew it was stupid too.
Yeah. I mean, it's just you stepped in a bear trap, and guess what? It ripped your leg off. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. Wow. It's such a trap though. It's such a ripoff. But yeah, you just have to be one of those guys who goes, yeah, back then when I was that Alex, I did that, and I won't ever do that one again. Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of those in my life, Alex, a lot of stuff that I used to do that I don't do anymore. And it's caused me to have money, and it's caused me to have a better life and a better walk with Jesus and everything else, because I don't do the stuff I used to do, the other version of Dave, right? And so it changed everything. And that's where you are. That's who you're going to be, and you're on your way. You're going to clear this up, but the faster and the more you work, the faster you create income, and the more income you create over the next 4 months, the faster this thing goes away and becomes a memory of that dumb thing I did a long time ago you'll tell your grandkids, back in August of 25, I was over there at the bait. You could tell the grandkid story, right? And go, I did that stupid stuff, son. You stay out of them places. You'll be that grandpa, right? And that's the grandpa you want to be, not the one that's still living broke.
The thing is, though, what I keep thinking about when I hear his call is he had been on the edge. Before. And
he had no margin when you get laid off.
No margin. And all it took was one little flick, and then all the dominoes fell down.
Yep.
And somebody listening is on the edge.
Like there's a whole bunch of somebody's listening.
Uh-huh.
And so you need to buckle down right now. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're going to get laid off at the work, because they don't come in and tell you like 7 months from now we're going to lay you off.
Right.
They come in and tell you 7 minutes from now you're leaving the building.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they tell you. Yep.
Because corporate America has one job, and it's piss on their employees. And so that's their only job, and they're really good at it. So, this is what happens. So now you've got to build a margin of an emergency fund and no debt payments. Mm-hmm. You got $30,000 in the bank and no payments, and they lay you off. You look at them and go, what's the severance? You got $30,000 in credit card debt and no money, and they lay you off. You go, oh, crap, I am heading down to the payday loan place.
You're at the mercy of whatever desperate thing you do next. Yeah.
Sarah's in South Dakota. Hi, Sarah. What's up? Sarah is gone.
Locked out. She dropped out.
Scary question.
You scared her off.
Scary question. Brian is in Minneapolis. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Good morning or good afternoon, Mr. Ramsey and Jade.
Hey.
I'm doing well. Question for you guys, which I'm glad I have male and a female. I'm engaged. I'm 45 years old. My fiance does not quite know what my net worth is. How do I tell her fully and that my lawyer says I pretty much have to have a prenup?
Well, your lawyer's not in charge of your life.
Yeah, no, I agree, Dave.
Number one, lawyers give advice. They don't tell me what to do. And then I decide if A, that I want them to be my lawyer anymore, and B, if I'm going to take their advice. They don't get to tell me I have to do something. That's not how, you're not the boss of me. Now, so how in the world do you get engaged and have never told her? You should have told her before you got engaged.
I agree. She knows I'm worth a decent amount. She just doesn't know the full amount.
What is the full amount?
I'm close to $20 million.
Wow.
12 to 20 million. That's a little vague.
Did you say close to 20 million?
Just shy of the last time I had my financials audited.
And you're telling me there's no signs that you're a 20 millionaire?
She knows I'm a millionaire, but she doesn't quite know that much. No, I live very frugal. Lived in the same house since 2005. Drive a vehicle from 2011.
Okay.
Okay. So you said you said your net worth is close to 20 million. Did I mishear you?
Nope, you did not mishear me.
You said 12 to. I thought I heard you say 12 to 20.
Close to 20.
Okay, so I did mishear you.
Last
you
time
said
I had
close to 20. Okay, so let's call it 20 million. All right.
600,000.
What do you make a year?
700-ish thousand.
Does she know that?
She knows I make a good amount. Yeah.
Well,
she doesn't know that.
No.
How long have you been together?
3 years.
How long have you been engaged?
8 months.
So you were. Can I ask a clear question? For that long of a period of time, that means you were intentionally keeping it from her. There was a point that came. I'm not going to tell her this.
Yes and no.
And my question for you is why?
I was in a relationship once where I found out it started because of the money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess I never wanted to have...
Hang on, we're going to talk about this after the break because it's a good question. I appreciate you calling in. Hang on.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. This time of year can be tough, so make sure you check in on your friends, check in on your loved ones, and reconnect with people you haven't talked to in a while. I recently called one of my childhood friends. We had a great conversation. It was awesome. The conversation was hard, but we also laughed a little bit too. It can take a little courage to just send that message or go grab coffee or even get in the car and drive across the country to reach out with a friend. And reaching out for a therapist can also feel hard, but often it's worth it. And if you're thinking about therapy, I recommend calling my friends at BetterHelp. BetterHelp has over 30,000 therapists. They're the largest online therapy provider in the world, and they've served over 5 million people globally, and they have an average rating of 4.9 stars out of 5. It's totally online, and it's easy to fit into your schedule. To get started, just answer a few simple questions and BetterHelp will connect you with a licensed therapist. And if it's not the right fit, you can switch therapists at any time for no extra cost. This month, don't wait to reach out. Visit BetterHelp.com/Ramsey to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Ramsey.
We're talking with Brian in Minneapolis. Jade Washaw is my co-host. Brian has a net worth of around $20 million. He's been engaged for 8 months, and has not told her yet the amount of his wealth. He makes $700,000 a year, and she doesn't know exactly how much. She knows he has a lot, makes a lot, but that's all and not everything. And that's about how far we got in the conversation. He's asking how to let her know now and to talk to her about a prenup. So let me backtrack for a second. So the reason you've not disclosed this to her is because you had someone before that was after you, and you realized they were only after you for your money, right?
Yeah, you could sum it up to that.
Yeah, and so how do you know this lady's not?
I can say we did have a talk about debt, because obviously I'm not a fan of it. And she did at one time have some debt, and I went in.
How do you know she's not after your money?
Because she never asked for anything. She tried to pay me back, tried to give me money every month when I did that, and I obviously said I don't want it, please.
Oh, you gave her some money.
I did pay off her debt. She had debt, and I did pay it off.
How much?
I looked at it that it looked like $40,000.
Okay.
So it was some student loans, car, and she had, unfortunately, a payday loan like you just talked about.
Okay, for someone who's so worried about her not finding out that you have wealth because she might be after you for your money, you sure did write a $40,000 check.
Right.
That's inconsistent.
Yeah, I look at that as I've been with her, for years, and if it got chalked up that I got burnt on it, hey, I got burnt.
How early into the relationship did you pay off her debt?
2 years.
Okay.
So not early.
Mm-hmm.
No. And I looked at it that if she left me,
and did she ask? Did she ask?
She didn't.
Okay,
she
you did say that. You did say
offered
that.
to pay it back. All right.
Yep,
So here's the thing. So just the fact that she's never asked you for anything and offered to pay that back makes you think she's not after your money.
Yeah, I just think I would have seen it in the close to 3 years that we've been together, that she never came to me for money.
So how do you react to this statement? How do you react to this statement? You should have told her before you asked her to marry you.
Agree.
Okay. All right.
I don't.
Because you shouldn't ask someone to marry you that you can't be honest with and transparent with, that you don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I fully know I'm in the wrong.
Okay.
I
think the conversation starts with that. I owe you an apology. We should have talked in detail about our finances before we got engaged. And I didn't do that because I was afraid because of this other person, the way I was treated before. I don't think you're that person. And didn't know how to handle this, and so I'm sorry. Now I've got to do something that I should have done 8 months ago, and that's unpack for you what I have.
Yeah, no, I truly agree. I
think that's the way you have the conversation, and you have 24 hours, my man.
Okay.
No more dreading this, no more thinking about it. This is cost. You can't sleep. You're fretting about this. You're worried about this.
Bothers me. Second quick question then. I actually won't see her. We actually, I'm an American and she's a Canadian, so I travel back and forth. So I won't see her for actually a couple of weeks.
Well, then wait till you see her. This is in person.
Face.
Yeah, this is in person.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And we do not recommend prenups except in situations where there's extreme difference in their net worth, and there's extreme difference here. So I do recommend a prenup.
Okay.
I recommend it. I'm not your lawyer. I didn't tell you have to do it.
Yep.
And let me tell you, if you think that you need a prenup to protect you from her, don't get married.
Yeah, I don't believe that for one second.
The only reason you're getting a prenup is to protect you from her crazy relatives.
And she has one.
Yeah,
so
everybody does. And if you think they don't, then that means it's you.
No.
So, all right. So next time you're in person, we sit down and you start with an apology that you should have trusted her enough to unpack this before you ask for her hand.
Okay.
And then you tell her what's going on and what we're doing. And, a financial advisor has suggested we discuss, has recommended we have a prenup to protect us, so you can look at your family and say, I don't have anything. He handles it all. And and you go out of the marriage with what you came into the marriage with, and basic prenup stuff. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, very interesting.
All right.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, have a great day.
You too.
Yep.
So, Jade, John Deloney posed an interesting question to me the other day, and it'll come up again in the next few months because he's doing some writing about it.
Mm-hmm.
He read a book, I guess it was, or talked to an expert somewhere that said, we tell people get a will, right? Why? Because if you don't get a will, the law tells you, and the court system tells you what's going to happen.
That's right. That's right.
And this guy's argument to get a prenup was so intriguing. We had a great discussion about it the other day on the plane. This guy's argument was, you have a prenup because the law is there.
Mm-hmm.
The law, the judge and the court's going to, just like with a will, they're going to tell you what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But with a prenup,
you decide.
You decide what's going to happen. And I've been so anti-prenup over the years that created a really interesting discussion. I'm still not going to tell you to get a prenup, but it did frame it in a way I had never thought about it before.
Which is you can pre-decide while you're in your right mind.
Yeah. Just like you do with a will.
Without spite, without anger, without...
Just like you do with a will. And then the judge doesn't tell you. The judge has to go along with what the prenup says. Judges, if the prenup's properly written, it can't be. The courts can't undo it. And so,
it's interesting.
By and large, there's some movie scenes that tell you. But, it's... I think of that one with Clooney that's hilarious. But anyway, you pre-decide what's going to happen. Otherwise, the law decides.
That's right.
And the judge decides. That's the same thing we tell people to do with a will. Now, the difference is you're going to die, and you might not get divorced.
That's facts. Yeah.
There's a difference there. And,
I think for a lot of people,
while dying is a spiritual decision, so is divorce.
I think the divorce thing, it's like that it's almost like you're going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. That's the problem. You're planning something, and so you're aiming at it unintentionally. You spoke it.
Yes, because everybody dies. Everybody doesn't have to get divorced. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just interesting. I had never heard it framed that way, and it made me stop and think about prenups. I was a little lighter, a little calmer about it, because I'm real anti-prenup. I know. We had one lady call here on the show many years ago, said her fiance wanted to get a prenup because he had a 67 vintage Mustang. And I'm like, don't marry this guy. He loves his car more than you. Run, girl, run. And so, that's the kind of crap I associate with prenups.
Right. But the idea that two people could sit down.
But if you got $20 million bucks, and, that's a lot.
But even the idea that two people could sit down and say, hey, we're getting married. Let's do some planning. And if you decided together, here's, in the unlikely event... It's like when you ride a plane and they go through the safety precautions.
Yeah, exactly.
In the unlikely event of a water landing, a divorce landing, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And then it's like you've done it before. There's anger before there. I don't know. It's an interesting conversation for sure.
Wow.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm still not a fan. I'm still not going to tell you to do it. But it did. I'm admitting here on the air that it made me stop and think about it.
I'm thinking about it now.
It's a different framing to the whole prenup discussion.
As I'm thinking about it, though, I'm also thinking if Sam Warshaw came to me with this conversation, I'd be like,
the
door is that way.
We'd be done, bud. We'd be done, man.
Yeah.
We'd be done. Yeah, so
there you have it.
That's the other thing is, Sharon and I got married at 22 years old. I had $1.12.
Yes.
I couldn't even have paid to have the prenup done.
Right.
Much less thought about I needed one.
And I had negative dollars. So
I was
there
just
you
so
have
happy to be here. That's all. I'm just happy to be here. Wow.
Dave, we got a lot of calls on this show where life happens. One day someone's healthy, they're working, providing for their family, and then a curveball hits.
We hear it all the time. A car accident, a cancer diagnosis, a heart attack, and suddenly everything changes.
Yeah, and that's why you've always said that having term life insurance from Xander is essential, because it protects your family if the worst happens.
Yeah, that's right. You need 10 to 12 times your income in coverage. No gimmicks, no whole life junk, just straightforward term life protection. But there's another piece that people often overlook, and that's long-term disability insurance.
Yeah, it's important to understand the difference between them. Life insurance steps in when you die. Disability insurance steps in while you're alive but can't work. So it replaces a large part of your income so the bills still get paid while you get back on your feet.
Now, if your employer gives you free disability insurance, great, take it. If it's discounted there at a better price, take it. But if not, Xander can help you find the right plan. Whether you're single or married, it's not optional. If you're going to be out of work for a while, then you need to make sure the money's still showing up.
And that's why Xander is our go-to. They make it super simple to get the right coverage at the best price, no pressure, no upselling.
I've trusted Jeff Xander and Xander Insurance for over 25 years, and so has my family.
So don't wait. It's fast, it's easy, and it could make all the difference. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282.
Protect yourself, protect your income, protect your family. Countdown to Christmas is on. We got a ton of great deals for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Plus, we're dropping special one-day sales on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. We're talking hardcover books, audiobooks, assessments, some with as low as $3.99. Don't miss these deals. Go to RamseySolutions.com/store or click the link in the show notes in the description. We would love to have you. All right, Jennifer is on a Zoom call with us in California. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? Thank you so much for having me, you guys. Thank you.
Our
Absolutely.
honor. How can we help you today?
This is a hard question. I need help around my heart because my heart is not right. I'm having resentment, and I'm a Christian, and I don't believe that that is what we need to do. I married a wonderful man, but now we are continuing to pay his ex-wife's child support. She went back for more, and I am angry and resentful, and we're snapping at each other more. And I took Jade's advice. Jade taught me this, where she said, fight the problem, not fight each other. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, we're going to fight the problem. But it's affecting everything. It's affecting even me parenting his kids, and it's just affecting everything.
The amount of it, or the him having to deal with her.
I think all of it, because we do everything together, right? So it's not just him. That actually triggers me. I love that you said that too, like that he's going through it, and I'm like, I'm going through it too. Yeah, my love, it's my money as well, and he just got a layoff, and so his last, he's going to end December, and then he's laid off. And Mama does not make enough for our four walls. Like our four walls are it's $7,300 just to exist is $7,300 a month.
And what do you make a month?
Mama only makes $38.84.
And what was he making?
He makes $50.60, so $5,060.
Okay,
and how much is the child support?
So the child support's not killing it. It's $500. It's $500 right now. We go back because he's laid off. So the court knows that he's getting laid off. So we go back in February because she wants like the all of it. Yeah. The good stuff. And so thankfully and she surprised us too that she came to court and was like, oh, well, I was laid off too. So now we're like, oh, what? Like, you didn't tell us that you were laid off. We were transparent and let her know that, oh gosh, he received a layoff and we're done in December. But then we found out, like, because she's remarried, but then we found out she's not remarried, and she had a ceremony. Okay. She's married.
Okay, can I bust in here, because I'm not in your situation, but if I were in your shoes, I can see why this is a pain point. I can see how it's annoying. I can especially, this woman's in your life whether you like it or not. If I could make this way more, if I were in your shoes, I'd be picturing the child, because the fact is, if you make a human being, you got to pay for him. Period. Like the same way you pay for money to raise your kids, that's just part of it. So I'd be thinking way more about the kid as much as you can. Imagine them, think about what that $500 is doing for them, and try to keep her out of that vision as much as possible.
Yeah, this is not ex-wife support. This is child support.
Right.
Yeah, and honestly, when he is working, what is the child support?
We don't know yet. So because
He's never paid child support?
No, he did. Well, so she actually was not awarded child support and alimony, which she went for the first time. She was, because when he laid everything out, he paid everything already. He paid her car insurance, he paid cell phone plus all the kids. So what the court decided was just disparaging income. He got family support. So he used to pay about $500 family support with the stipulation that he continues to pay everything, all after school care, dental, all the things, plus her car insurance and her cell phone and stuff. He still had to do that for 2 years.
Okay.
Plus
but that's over now. That's over now.
So that was over in
You
December
married into that,
24.
though. You knew that when you got married.
Right.
Okay.
And that
So
was over in
let me.
December
So that was how much total in a month that he was paying out?
Oh gosh, to total all the bills, I don't know. All the bills were like all the medical, her car insurance, whatever, probably.
Okay, so when you go back, it's not going to be any of that. It's going to just be a percentage of his income.
Yes.
Okay, good.
In February, it'll be whatever.
That's really good, because really what that does is it disconnects her from misbehaving and wanting it paid for. Okay, she just gets a fixed amount of his income regardless, but she doesn't get it anyway. Kiddo gets it, to Jade's
for the
point.
child.
So we're paying this for this child, and you knew this when you came in. It's not his fault. It's not your fault, and it's not even benefiting the lady, the ex-wife. It's just benefiting the kid. And truthfully, the reason I ask how much is most of the time in most states, the child support that is paid is not enough to raise a kid.
It's a very small amount.
Yeah, so he's going to pay a lot, and it's going to be bothersome, but it's still not enough to raise a kid. And so, and how old is the child?
We have two. Well, he has two. So he has a 7-year-old son and an 11-year-old daughter. And then I have two.
Okay.
And how
so
old
we
are
got
yours?
A family of 6 over here.
Yeah.
And
How old are yours?
So oh my God, you guys, we're in the thick of it. We have a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 12-year-old.
So then this is easy for you to imagine these kids when you write that $500 check or whatever it's going to be. It's easy for you to imagine, okay, they go to ballet and they go to, they have soccer and they have school lunch. You know what this money's going for. They need new boots, all that stuff. That's what you need to focus on that. And you need to get practical about this. You need to have it somewhere where when you start to spin out and you're thinking about her and you're thinking about him and you're thinking about the past, because you told us a lot of stuff that's not even currently happening anymore.
Right.
You need to focus on what is happening today and what is the benefit. And just remind yourself, here's why I'm doing this. I got to refocus. And I think that's going to help you.
His youngest is how old?
7.
Okay. So you got 10 years, 11 years, yeah.
Yes.
That's really not much. In the scope of life, that's not much. And
it's a me problem. I just
no,
need
I'm not. We're not picking on you.
No.
I think it's normal to have the emotions that you have. You ask how to handle them, and we're just suggesting we redirect them and compartmentalize them. You've the way you've described it with your language was it's all about her. And Jade's point is none of it's really about her, other than she's obviously a test pilot for a broom factory. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a reason she's called the X. And so, and so we get that part, but that's normal dealing with X's. There's a reason they're gone. And so, but yeah, you're going to be in weddings together, and you'll be at other things together in the future and for the rest of your life. And it'll get easier and easier. But yeah, I like the idea that we're getting away from paying individual expenses like her cell phone.
Yes.
That sounds kind of ridiculous and personal.
Yeah, because then you're
I would be
her
much more
payment,
torqued
her
about
expenses.
that if I were in your shoes than I
That
would
was
just
so
writing
hard.
a child support check.
Yes. That was very difficult when I first.
Yeah,
when we
that's
first
just
combined finances, that was still
stupid.
happening.
That was just a bad idea. Yeah.
But that part's over.
Yeah, it's gone.
That part's it's done and gone. So, wrapped up, put a bow on
'Cause
that.
I have a feeling you love your husband, and I have a feeling you actually love his kids.
I do.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
So this is their money.
Yeah.
And you would help them because you're a good mom.
Thank you. That is really helpful.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, that's helpful.
That's the right way to do it. Yeah, you're heading in the right direction for sure there. So I'm proud of you. It's a good question.
It is good.
And I appreciate you being vulnerable and coming on the air with us and talking about it.
And such a human way to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's hard. I mean,
could understand
kiddos
that.
are kiddos, and that's where we are. Thanks for calling. We appreciate you being with us. Fun. Wow.
I like that video situation. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's super. I mean, we get these calls in there on the air, on the phone. It's anonymous right here. You just walked up.
Yeah, right into her house. I like that.
That's and on a very personal, intimate question.
Oh, yeah.
So very interesting. Very interesting.
That's not easy. That's not an easy situation to deal with.
No, but I mean, so I guess some advice would be for everyone out there, if you're going through this, don't set up a situation where you're paying for individual bills like that with the ex. Like, for God's sakes, her cell phone. That one's just whack.
Well, then you're in their life. You're without wanting to. You're judging how they're, judging the cost, judging.
I want them to be away. That's the reason they're ex. Go away.
Yes.
Way
yes.
away. Way away. Go find an away place to be. Yeah. And I don't want to know what your issues are.
Yeah.
I actually know what they are, and I don't want to know about them anymore.
Yes.
And so, I don't want to know about medical. I don't, you deal with your stuff. There's an idea. That's what you signed up for when you became the ex. You deal with your stuff. And here's what the law says I have to do to take care of my baby, and I will take care of the baby. That's what I'm going to do. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. Jade Washall, #1 best-selling author, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. Albert Einstein famously said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. If you invest $100 a month, and you got average stock market returns for the past 100 years or so, you would hit around 12%. $100 a month invested from age 25 to age 65 is $1,176,000. How is it that $1,200 a month for 40 years becomes $1 million? $1,200 a year for 40 years.
There you go.
Yeah, it's called compound interest. So compound interest, Buffett described it as a snowball rolling down the hill. So a little snowball picks up a little snow the first time it comes around. The next time it comes around, it's larger, and it picks up more snow. The next time it comes around, it picks up more snow, and the next time it picks up, and that's called a mathematical geometric progression. And so compound interest shows you that interest works on a curve. It is not a straight line. So an example of that is, if you took a $500,000 mortgage, now interest rates currently on homes for a 15-year fix is 5.5%, okay? So if you took out a 5% loan, we'll call it, to make it easy, on $500,000, your payment on that 15-year fixed-rate loan would be $3,953. If you doubled the amount of time that you're in debt, from 15 years to 30 years, you would think, if you didn't understand compound interest, that your payment would be half. So 15 should be double what a 30 is, correct? Well, it's not. It's only 33% more to be in debt half, 50% of the time.
That's right.
Because the compound, because you're doing away with the principal and doing away with the need to pay interest, and so you pay a lot less interest, and so your payment is only 33% more to go to a 15-year from a 30-year. It's not double. But if you don't understand how the math works, you think, oh, a 15 and a 30 is a thing. So a couple of weeks ago, President Donald Trump came out with this crazy idea for 50-year mortgages, to which instantaneously my friend Seth Dillon over at Babylon Bee does a Photoshop of me in intensive care. Dave Ramsey's
Classic.
in intensive care in critical condition after learning of 50-year mortgages.
You don't
Mr.
look
Get Out
so
of
good.
Debt. And so, and I really look pretty sick in this.
You don't
and
look so good.
Here's the dumbest thing, okay? All of my 65-year-old and 60-year-old and 70-year-old friends sent that to me laughing because it's the best dad joke ever.
It's
but none of my 25-year-old friends thought it was that funny. They didn't even get it, really. It's like, I don't understand. But I did look pretty sick in there, Seth. You doctored the face up and everything.
You were slim.
Man.
You were.
The guys at Babylon Bee, I look kind of old.
You're
there.
like,
I mean, it's like,
water. I need water.
Water. Yeah. So Babylon Bee's funny. They're friends of ours, and they're always pick on me, but it's good-natured, and we love them, and they're great. But here's the thing. President Trump actually realizes, I suppose, because he is a math guy and a real estate guy, that the difference in a 50-year mortgage and a 30-year mortgage is more about looking like he did something to help people than the math is. This is a political stunt by President Trump, if he actually knows what's going on. Otherwise, it's an ignorant stunt by President Trump. I don't know which one it is, because the difference in a 50-year mortgage and a 30-year mortgage, as we just described, you would think it would be almost half, but it's only 16% less. So your payment on a 50-year on $500,000 is $2,200. On a 30-year is $2,600. You save a whole $300 by going in debt an extra 20 freaking years. And you save $300. And this is going to fix America's housing crisis. Oh, horse crap, Trump. That's absolutely asinine, and you know it. It's ridiculous. I mean, come on.
And then talk about the interest.
I mean, this is like Joe Biden saying he's forgiving student loans when he knows he can't, okay? It's just the same. It's political stunt. You know you can't do this. The law won't let you do it, but you're walking around, strutting around, acting like you did something. You politicians. So Trump's like, I'm going to give him a 50-year mortgage, because he's got billions of dollars of mortgages on all these New York buildings, and he just loves debt. He thinks it's awesome. He and I have disagreed on that since back in the Larry King days. Y'all remember Larry King?
Oh, Larry King Live, of course.
We used to do those TV shows, and they had like 6 people on there, looked like
Brady Bunch.
Looked like the Brady Bunch. We were in the boxes on the Brady Bunch, and Trump would be in the left-hand bottom corner, and I'm up in the other corner, and I'm yelling at him about getting out of debt. And he's like, who is this hillbilly on the thing with me? And that's the first time he and I ever talked, was I got in a big fight with him on Larry King like 25 or 30 years ago. I actually like President Trump in general, and I've been around him several times, but this is an absolute bogus political stunt, and he knows it. He's over laughing at you people going, 50 years, we're not going to have to pay anything. We can get a mortgage for almost nothing. Compound interest, baby. We just explained it to you. It saves you almost nothing over a 30-year mortgage.
But
16%, but you're almost 100% more in debt.
But talk about the fact that it's a trap in that, because I've heard a lot of people say, well, I can get it. It's a great place to start, and then later on I can move to something else.
Yeah, there's a great place to start to go to a payday lender, too. But it's a great place to start to go to a pawn shop. This is an absolute stupid statement.
They're not thinking about when you do that, how quickly are you gaining equity?
You're not gaining any equity, except the house goes up in value.
Yeah.
But you could get an interest-only loan, and it would be almost the same thing.
Basically.
They had interest-only loans for a while. You remember those? That was stupid on steroids.
Yeah.
Hello, 2008. We're calling. And, does anybody remember stupid on steroids? I remember it. How about a 1-year adjustable rate mortgage tied to an index that already started in the hole your first day? In other words, if you had to adjust it the day you took out the mortgage, you would already be going up. That's how all the 1-year ARMs are set up, by the way, boys and girls. This is why it's stupid. The game is rigged. So what you want to do is, if you're going to get in the game, you want to get out as fast as possible, not plan to stay in. So you're not saving anything by taking out a 50-year mortgage. Sorry, President Trump. Bogus move. You either knew it or you didn't, but now, at least, if when you hear this, you'll at least know. And I was on a call with him just a few weeks ago on some other stuff.
And you told him it was dumb?
No, it wasn't out by then. It came out about 3 days after that. But I'm not going to, he'll hear about this or he won't. It doesn't matter. He's not taking Dave Ramsey's opinion anyway. I can tell you that. He is not worried about what I think at all. He's not worried about what anything thinks. But bottom line, boys and girls, this political move, okay? Whether you love Trump, whether you hate Trump, a 50-year mortgage has no mathematical substantiality to. If it cut your payment in half, we could talk about it. But it cuts it 16%. Don't be stupid.
If you're interested in lowering your payment $300, just get a slightly cheaper house.
Oh, whoa! Mic drop. Whoa! This is why we pay her the big money right here, boys and girls. 'Tis the season, time of year when we talk about giving. We're going to be doing our giving edition, the special giving edition of the Ramsey Show in December. We want to hear stories from you about how you have given generously sometime in the past, and maybe you tipped a waitress $100 or $1,000, or bought Thanksgiving dinner for a family who couldn't afford it, or maybe you blessed someone in need by giving them a car. Maybe it was something other than that. We want to hear something that makes everybody be inspired to give. Generosity is the most fun you can have with money. Maybe you've been on the receiving end and had your life changed by someone who was generous to you. Well, we want to hear from you either way. Go to RamseySolutions.com/ask. Put giving in the subject line. Tell us a little bit about the story. And we do this every year at Christmas time. It's one of our most popular shows. It's coming up on December 18th. So start sending in your stories on giving today. Let's celebrate living like no one else so later you can give like no one else. Robin is with us in Orlando. Hi, Robin. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate it. You're the only person I think that I want your opinion on this. My husband wants to buy a $300,000 car, and it just puts a rock in the pit of my stomach.
Wow.
So my question
What is the car?
Yeah, like a Shelby.
Oh, wow. Really?
Oh, see, now you like it. See, that's my finance guy, Matt. I say to Matt, and Matt's I'll go with him.
Listen, it's a very cool car. But so the question is just, how much is $300,000 in your all's world? What's your all's net worth?
Close to 20.
20
million.
What?
Million.
So you have $20 million. Okay.
Yes.
And are you retired, or does he work, or?
We're retired. We retired last year.
Okay.
Sold the business, and we are, fully retired.
Okay.
Plenty of investments. I mean, I really have no reason to say no to this, except something in me says this is absolutely ridiculous. This is the worst idea he's ever had. But I don't want to cause a problem and say that.
Oh,
so I need somebody to tell me which direction to go.
Yeah. I think you should say that. And I think you should say, that's how I feel. But my brain tells me that we have the money and you've worked hard a really long time, and this is a small amount of money to us. My heart doesn't understand that, and my stomach definitely doesn't understand that. Because you remember the old days when y'all were broke and couldn't afford to go out to eat, right?
Oh, yeah. I always took care of the money. And,
so here's the thing. I've gone through the same stuff, Robin, Sharon, and I have. And, we've got 1,100 people working here. We buy the coffee for our team. The coffee bill at Ramsey blows my freaking mind, okay? Because my mind still remembers my 28-year-old self that was bankrupt and couldn't feed my kids, right? My emotions still feel that. My mind, though, knows that the company took in $300 million last year. We can probably pay the coffee bill, right? We can afford. So the math says it's no big deal, but the emotions are remembering the past, not the current. And so I have to use my intellect to go, it's okay to buy coffee for 1,100 people because it really is a small percentage of our overall budget and overall world. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. When Sharon wants to buy something expensive, or Dave, or we want to give away $300,000 to charity, to a ministry, okay, in your situation, we ask ourselves, if we took that amount of money and burned it in the kitchen floor, would our life change? So here's the thing. The stock market will move on your $20 million worth of investments more than $300,000 in the next 60 days, up or down.
True.
And you won't even look at it.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's not, because it's not relevant. It's not going to kill you. If it moved, if it moved $18 million out of 20 million, yeah, I'm starting to have a duck fit now, girl.
Okay, I like how you put it.
It's a small percentage of your world, and you will survive. And it's the thing that makes you want to scream is that remembering how hard it was in the old days to get to this point. And it's hard for your emotions to keep up with the math.
a $300,000 car, there's just,
I know.
outrageous.
It is. It is outrageous. You know what else is outrageous? You got $20 million, girl. That's freaking outrageously wonderful. That's so wonderful. You know why? Because y'all busted your butt all these years, and then you sold that business, and somebody wrote y'all a big old check.
This is very true.
Luck didn't have nothing to do with this, girl. You paid a price.
Yeah, it was.
You worked overtime.
Y'all
know what a callus looks like. What kind of business was it?
It was construction industry.
Yeah, you definitely know what a callus looks like. You put up with some bull crap over the years.
Yeah. It just make him so happy, but
I'm not.
$300,000 for a car.
It's not gonna make him
I want to
happy.
talk to your wife and see what she says.
She would say do it because I drive a Raptor that's probably, it's over 100. So my Raptor R pickup truck is nuts. It's crazy. There's no reason anybody should ever have a truck like that, but it's a very, very small percentage of our world.
All right. You've made me feel better. I appreciate it.
I don't think you're being dumb. I don't think he's being dumb. I think you don't I don't think you appreciate cars like he does, and that's okay. You don't have to. And I think you're a good lady for looking over his shoulder. And I like. Don't you love the way she's? She really is asking the question. She's not telling us the question. You know what I'm saying, that Jade?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Well, it's been eating me, and kind of funny because I called a couple of times, and then I would find out, well, you weren't on, but I couldn't hold on anyway. So I just happened to get right through today because I knew I needed to ask you this.
Oh, it's just me.
So I feel a lot better.
All right.
Well, I feel like your attitude with cars, and again, I wanted to talk to your wife more than you, I think. But
yeah, doesn't everybody? We can't get her to come on. She comes on Rachel's show, but she won't come on my show.
Darn. All right, you made me feel better. The rock in my stomach is a little easier. I will tell him. At least it'll get off my chest. But
tell him you think it's dumb, but you think he's earned it.
That's the way I'm going to put it. I think it's dumb, but he has earned it.
That's the truth. He has earned it. $20 million freaking dollars for a construction company.
I'm back.
Back. Well, yeah. Did you go around the planet once?
I went around the planet. I did an orbit, and now I'm back.
So when you live like no one else, one of the things we're discovering is we've shown people how to become millionaires, in some cases multimillionaires. Now, we didn't show them how to sell their company. They did that. We'll give them all the credit on that. But we've shown a lot of people how to build a really nice level of wealth.
Yeah.
And
but a lot of money is always a lot of money. Even if it's a smaller percentage, everybody can look at $300,000 and go, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. I can look at that and say that's a lot
You see what I'm saying? That part doesn't go away, I got to believe.
Yeah. And honestly, probably top of the market for the Shelby. This is a special car, but it's a special car. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Again, it passes the burn the money in the middle of the floor test.
Right.
And so this is why you can't afford to spend let's just say $12,000 and go spend a week on Fast Pass at Disney when you have $20,000 to your name.
Ooh.
You just spent all your money on Disney. Mm-hmm. Now, see, that's way different. If we want to put this in a ratio with her, you can afford a Chick-fil-A biscuit.
I was going to say, that's drive-through.
That's your drive-through biscuit. That's your drive-through budget right there. So this is like you buying a biscuit if you got $20,000. Yeah, same thing. So $20 million, $20,000.
But it doesn't feel, somehow it still doesn't feel that way. You know it, but it doesn't feel that way, huh? Or does it feel? Did buying your Raptor feel like a biscuit?
Yeah. But it's the third one I bought.
Okay. You got 3 biscuits.
I've gotten practice. The all-new Every Dollar is here. It's way more than just our world-class budgeting app. Ton of advanced features to help you make faster progress with your money and show you hand by hand how to follow the Ramsey way. The average person finds thousands of dollars in margin in the first 15 minutes of using the app. And that gets you started to work your way out of debt, into wealth, and into generosity. Start Every Dollar for free today. Get it in the App Store or on Google Play. The world's best financial tool, Every Dollar, the all-new one. Check it out. South Dakota's calling. Sarah's with us. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, how are you guys today?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, just have a quick question. So, my husband and I got a term life insurance policy through Xander when our son was first born. But that was 15 years ago. And since then, life has hit a little bit. We are still making progress with our debt snowball. We're actually planning to pay off our last debt by hopefully February. However, we're not there yet. But over the years, our income has increased quite a bit. So when we were first married, we were making about $70 combined. Now we're making about $180. So my question is,
why is it taking you 15 years to get out of debt?
Well, maybe weren't so gazelle intense.
Like not at all. Okay.
Right. But we're getting there now. So we're getting really close, and we. So
everything you still have a mortgage, and you still have what else?
We have $8,000 on my student loan, and we've got our mortgage, and that is all we have left.
Wow. Okay.
So what's the question today?
So the question today, we are curious: do we need to consider increasing our life insurance through Xander, given that our income has gone up? I know the recommendation is like 10 to 12% of
That's right.
your overall income, or because we're so close to being debt-free, do we not need to take that approach because ultimately we'll be self-funded through insurance?
No, you need to extend because being self-insured would denote that you've got a massive nest egg of wealth that can cover you when those situations arise, and you don't have that just yet. If you keep going with intensity, you will. But if you play the next 15 years like you've played this last 15 years,
you're still going to be in debt. You'll still have a mortgage.
Well, we are definitely not looking to do that. We're definitely looking to attack that mortgage as soon as the student loan's paid off. So everything
when
that
you
we're
have enough money,
now,
when you have enough money in investments, that the income off of the investments will support you if he dies, then you're self-insured. You're not there. We want you to be okay if something happens to him, and you're not there. Okay? And we want him to be okay if something happens to you, and make sure the kiddos are fed and so forth. And that would be that, and so if you had $1 million and it was producing 10%, that'd be $100,000. Okay? And that won't even take care of you now because you're making 180. And so you'd need about $2 million in investments right now in zero debt in order to be self-insured, equal to, having the right amount of life insurance. So no, you need to increase your life insurance and buy new policies. Yeah, if your 15-year fixed policy is running out, buy new ones. Yeah. And and here's the thing: if you do get intense, if that did happen and you get out of debt and you look up and there's $1 million or $2 million in investments and zero debt, you can cancel the life insurance. You don't have to keep paying it. You can just call them and cancel it. But if you don't smoke, folks, and you're not overweight, life insurance doesn't cost anything. It's very inexpensive.
Very.
So 15-year level, 15 to 20-year level fixed rate. And the idea is that during that 15 years, you pay off your mortgage.
Well, yeah.
And you get out of debt. And you build up some investments. And the kids grow up and leave.
That's right.
During that 15 to 20 years. And so we don't have kiddos to take care of. We've got a pile of money. And you work your way into a net worth that allows you to be self-insured.
The policy.
And so, but you guys have been slow, so you get to re-up your life insurance. And then you can always drop it later, but for right now, you're not ready.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Felix is in Los Angeles. Hi, Felix. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be on the show.
Sure.
I'm calling today to get your advice on my current living situation. I work for a government utilities agency in Los Angeles as an engineer. I currently live in downtown LA. I'm paying about $3,000 in rent per month, and I just turned 30 this year. And I watch your show. I hear, your advice about ownership and owning a home someday, and that's a goal for my life as well. And I wanted to get your thoughts on renewing my lease, which expires this month, or going back home to stay with my parents.
Well, how much do you bring home every month?
So after tax, I bring home about somewhere between $6,000 to $6,500.
So what you're telling me is your rent's 50% of your take home.
Yes, it's around that. If you include utilities and
I know
survival.
it.
Yeah.
So I think there's one of two things that can happen here. You can either figure out a way to bust free and suddenly make $20,000, a month, or you can look for some place that's far less expensive for rent. What would you do if you moved, away and moved towards where your family is? What would you do for a living?
Well, I would still be an engineer. My family stays in Fontana, which is about maybe 50 miles away from Los Angeles. Yeah. So
You have an engineering degree?
Yes, I have a bachelor's in civil engineering and I have a master's in environmental engineering.
And you make $70,000 a year?
Well, I make around $105,000 a year.
How long have you been out of school?
I graduated with my master's in 2023, and shortly after is when I moved to LA and got my job in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, you're living in one of the most expensive places in the country. So there is always going to be a limit because of that. So if I were in your shoes, I'd be looking for other places. Now, Fontana that you mentioned, I mean, have you priced it out? What's the difference? Where could you get a 1-bedroom and what would it cost? Would it get you to the 25% range?
Well, in LA, it's very difficult to find a place to stay.
I'm talking about Fontana, like you said.
I'll be staying with my parents.
Okay, so Felix, here's the thing. What you want, staying with your parents is not your play, because it doesn't take you to the future you want. You've said no. You've said nothing about where you want to be in 20 years, in 10 years, and how staying with your parents is going to get you there. All we're doing is solving the immediate problem by going backwards. So no, I'm not going to do that. If I'm you, I'm looking for a new job that pays $150,000 in a market where the rent is half of what it is in LA, and you make a move. For your career, you're a single guy, and you go out there and make some money and get your cost of housing down. Because if you're working for a utility, your bumps, your increases in pay are going to be moderate to poor.
Yeah, it's a government job. So,
and it's going to be moderate to poor. The pay is already low, and it's not going to get better. You're going to get cost of living bumps and nothing else. And so as an engineer, you can go out there and make twice what you're making now in an area that costs half what it costs to live in LA. And that puts you in a position to build a life, a financial life, including home ownership. But the ratio you're giving me right now, going back to your parents doesn't solve it. No. That's regressing instead of saying, how can I move forward? So I'm going to be figuring out a way to move forward. Either a different kind of engineer application for my master's in engineering in Los Angeles where I make a lot more, or a different city, or both. Our scripture of the day, Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He's also set eternity in every human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Andy Warhol said, they always say time changes things, but actually you have to change them yourself.
All right.
This is true.
I'm with that.
Megan's in Detroit. Hi, Megan. What's up?
Hi. I love you guys. I just want to say that first and foremost. But my question is, my husband and I just got married in September, and this year so far we've been really working the debt snowball and paying for our paying off some of our loans while saving for our wedding. And the plan was when we finished saving and paying for our wedding, we would go back and really work our debt down. And 6 weeks before we got married, my little brother died. And yeah, it's not really what I pictured this season to look like.
No.
And I guess my question is, I'm just curious on your perspective of taking a break from the debt snowball in the first year of this time.
What happened to him?
He was in an accident.
Mm-hmm. How old was he?
23.
What was his name?
Rocco.
Rocco. Okay. I'm sorry, Megan. That hurts beyond belief. And you were obviously close. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
29.
Okay. All right. Well, you're welcome to do whatever you want to do. It's your life. Okay. Yeah. And if you and your husband sit down and say, we're going to take X number of time off and just, we're not going into debt. Mm-hmm. We're not going to grief spend, but we're just going to take some time off with the intensity and cry a little. That would be perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. What I would recommend is, that you stay on a plan, because you can have a tendency to drift and go, well, I'm having kind of a down day, so I'm going to overspend. It's called grief spending, okay? And you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose ground. You won't like that later when you look back at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's easy to medicate grief with spending. A lot of people do it. And so be careful with that. But if you say, okay, we're going to slow off on the intensity, we're just going to pay the bills, go no further into debt, and just give ourselves a little cushion for some time to get to where we can breathe again, well, that would be a human act. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that.
What's I guess, because I know this is not really a unique situation. I mean, it feels unique to me, but you guys hear this call a lot. What's a good amount of time to give yourself before you start
we don't get this call a lot. We get the call where it's a spouse. And that's the one I've answered many times in the 35 years. But I don't know that I've gotten a call from a sister with a 23-year-old that was killed in an accident. Right. I mean, that's a different kind of thing than your spouse.
It could be a good idea, and I'm just talking out loud. It could be a good idea to give yourself a time limit so that you don't stay wandering for too long. Almost like, okay, I did my thing. It's time for me to get moving. It's kind of like when you're sitting on the couch. After a while, you need to just get up and stretch your legs and move around again.
Yeah. What's your household income?
So after tax from our day jobs, we bring in $9,800 a month.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how much debt do you have?
We total $59,951.
Okay. And you're obviously the nerd of the family. You know everything to the penny. I love you. You're awesome. Okay.
I love my husband. So, he's not a money stressor or.
Why don't the two of you talk about it and pray about it and say, all right, how long do I need to get the majority or enough of my heart healed that I can focus? Okay. Because we do know this about grief. When you're addressing it, if you address it properly, and you may need to sit down and talk to someone about it, may need to get a good therapist involved, but if you're addressing it properly, the pain never leaves completely, but it does get further and further and further in the rearview mirror. And it's not that we're going to forget Rocco, that's not the point. or that his death's not going to be unimportant at some point. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying right now it's taking up a lot of your headspace. A year from now it will be less. 5 years from now it will be less. Would you agree with that?
I hope so.
Yeah, you don't want to be sitting in exactly the same place of pain, and he wouldn't want you to. So we just say, we acknowledge that it's hurting. We sit down and get some help with that, and we walk through it. And so, you two talk about it, and I don't really care, but I would highly recommend, that you stay on a system where you're not spending more. You're not going further in. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. The two of you agree to that. But we're not going to work 6 jobs. We're not going to, we'll go out to eat. We're going to take some time off here. We're not going to throw money out the debt snowball like our life depends on it. We're not doing any of that right now. And we're going to give ourselves a period of time. And so I'll give you just a guess, but it's not a professional guess because Dr. John Deloney's not here. Okay? I'm just dad. Okay? I'm just the old man. So it feels like that you need 60 to 90 days. And I think at the end of that time, if you're working on this, you're going to have a lot clearer head. That's my guess. But this happened right before the wedding, and then you had the wedding, so you've had these 2 huge events all within a couple of minutes of each other, and now we're going into Christmas and Thanksgiving. And so it's like boom, 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 boom. Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get the other side of the first of the year and let things calm down a little bit and get a little bit more boring, because boring has not been your life lately. And then that's kind of when some of this will flush out, I think. But that's just an old guy talking, not a professional. Does that feel right to you?
I think so. I definitely it's hard. I want to be intense about paying off our debt still, and then when I go to do it, I just don't.
Yeah, it's not the most important thing to you right now, and that makes sense.
Yeah, this saps some of your strength, takes some of your energy away, and that just means you're a good person. It means you're a good sister. So I think you and your husband pray about this. I think I would sit down. Are you guys in a good church?
Not really. No, not here.
No, okay.
We've I've started looking around.
Yeah, I think I'd be looking around and, find a good therapist, find a good pastor to sit down and unpack some of this with, and put it on the calendar that the 1st of March we're go time. Or something like that. I don't care if you decide it's the 1st of April, but it doesn't need to be 2028. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'll give you some peace. You're a very analytical, detailed person, and this drifting is not something that gives you peace. It's going to give you more peace to say, all right, I'm going to work on this hard, this grief thing, and I'm going to honor Rocco very intensely for this period of time, and then I'm coming out of the fog on this date. And if you give yourself that as a set desired future, a set goal, I think it's going to help you because of the way your brain works. Am I reading you right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. You're a good sister, and you're a good husband, or you're a good wife, and your husband is lucky. So you're going to be great. Okay? Yeah. And take a minute. Mm-hmm. Take a minute and breathe. You should. If you didn't, you'd be weird.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? I mean, just to act like this didn't happen, that's going to blow up. And it did, and it did happen right before your wedding. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, this is hard. This is bad medicine right here. So, sit down and talk to somebody, kiddo. Set a date, prayerfully with your husband. I think you're going to be great. She's going to be great.
She's going to be okay.
That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.